Okay, so today we're here to convert a Illustrator document to an AutoCAD file for use in the laser cutter. Now everything we go over here is specific to the way we use files here at DesignWorks, Syracuse University's Department of Design Fabrication Lab. But the general practices should be applicable to anywhere. You would just want to talk to your operator and make sure some of the specifics in terms of color or line weight match the settings that the driver for the laser cutter that you're using uses. But aside from that, it should all be pretty similar. Okay, so here I have my fabulous poster for shop monitors. I'm all ready to, it's all laid out and I'm ready to laser cut it. But there are a few things that we need to do first. One of which is put it on a template, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I have to do some other things to get the file ready. First, the laser cutter will only does lines, and in this drawing, if we select something here, we can see over here that there's a black fill and a white stroke on all of these objects, except the text is all black. What's going to happen if we try to send this to the printer or the laser cutter now is that it's going to cut everything twice, because when you export it out, the fill and the stroke come in as separate lines. So there'll be two lines, which means it'll cut it twice, which is not good. So the first thing we need to do is change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all. I'll use my keyboard shortcut, Apple A, or I can go up here to select and do select all. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make sure my fill color is selected by clicking on it, and I'm going to hit nothing. So even if your fill color is white, you run into that same problem, so you need to make sure it has a little red line through it so that it has no fill. Next, I'll click on my stroke box here, and I'm just going to do black. So I will click out and unselect everything, and this is what I want my file to look like, where everything is just an outline. So now if we click on this anything, we'll see that there's just a stroke. So when we export it out, we'll get one line, and the laser cutter will only cut one thing. Okay. In addition to that, the laser cutter also looks at the thickness of line. So right now, all these lines are 1 point. We can see that up here. Or we can also see that here. Now, since we're using AutoCAD to essentially print these things from, AutoCAD doesn't deal in points, it deals in inches. So we need to change this to a thing that we know the right size. And so the first thing we're going to do is go up here under Illustrator, go to Preferences, go to Units and Display Performance, and then here under Stroke, we are going to change that to inches and hit OK. So now up here, instead of seeing 1 point, we see 0.0139 inches. Oh, except for I only had the one thing selected. So again, I want to select all. Click in that stroke box up there. 0.001. Actually, we'll do 001. 3 zeros and a 1. And then hit enter. Okay, so 3 zeros and a 1. Unselect. And so now everything in my drawing is just an outline and has a stroke weight of 0.0001. Okay, so we're almost ready to convert this. But there's one last step that we have to do. This text is still text, and AutoCAD doesn't like that. I mean, it's not entirely true, but you're relying on us having the font on our system, and you can't rely on that. So what we need to do is we want to select all the text. So if we go up here under Select, Object, Text Objects, click that, that will select all the text. And now what we want to do is we want to convert that text to outline. So we go down here and go Create Outlines and hit that. When that's done, it's changed our text from text that can be, the point size can be changed, and the leading and stuff, to lines. So as if we had just drawn all this text by ourselves, which means that AutoCAD will just see it as lines and not as text, so we don't have to have the font installed on our system, but it also means you lose some editing capabilities. So you want to make sure you do that last, so you can still edit your text. Okay, one last thing we want to do before we send this, put it on the template and send it to AutoCAD, is we want to ungroup as much as we can. A lot of these things are grouped, and when we bring groups into AutoCAD, it can do some strange things. So I've again selected everything with my Apple A, or I could go again select all. I'm going to go to Objects, Ungroup, and we want to do this several times because there's a lot of little groups in there, and I want to make sure that I can drill down. I can also use the keyboard shortcut Shift Apple G, select all, just to double check. Everything is no fill, is a black stroke, although the color isn't that important, but black is probably easiest. Stroke weight is 0.001, and that is about it.